Hello, hi everyone, and a huge welcome to today's Summer Festival. This festival is going to feature a host of various different universities interested in various different institutions and themes in itself. Now, without holding back any further, before we go into the University of Law and talk more about them and get the presentation from them, I'd like to just talk about what you guys can do. We do have a Q&A at the end of the presentation. It will be live, so please send through your questions via the chat facility or the live Q&A facility at the top. If you're watching on social media today via Facebook or LinkedIn, please send your questions through on the live messenger facility. But for now, I'd like to hand you over to Letitia and Vicky, who are representatives at the University of Law. Hi both. At this stage, if you'd like to come on, I'd like to hand over to you guys, and I'll see you guys at the end to talk more about the presentation and the live Q&A. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Hello. Well, I'm going to share my presentation here with you so Vicky can start. Or Vicky, would you like to share yours?
No, if you share, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
We can.
Okay, feel free.
Thank you very much. So good morning, everyone. My name's Vicky Gregory, and I'm the Acting Head of the Academic Masters in Law programmes at the University of Law. Joining me today is my colleague Letitia, who's our careers consultant for the AMIL programmes, and she'll be talking to you a bit about what she can help you with a bit later on. So today we're going to be focusing on our range of LLMs, including the support that you would receive and the careers options available to you. Now, the University of Law, as you can see on the slide, it has an established history in education. I studied at ULaw myself when it was the College of Law, and I made that choice based on the excellent reputation of the university within the field of legal education. And one of the main benefits of the AMIL programmes is that you can enjoy the benefits of flexible learning. We're immensely proud to have a 97% employment rate for our students, and we have a vast alumni network which allows you to build invaluable connections throughout your time on the programme. In addition, we have a fantastic specialist careers service, which Letitia talked to you about a bit later on, and you will be taught by lawyers and business leaders. I'm a non-practicing lawyer, and I strongly believe in the importance of bringing this practical element into our classrooms. Although I should note now that our AMIL programmes, they're not vocational, so they can lead to a variety of different career paths. Next slide, please. Thank you very much. So as you can see here, we have a number of different study locations, but also a brilliant online campus. My previous role at the University of Law was as the programme student lead for our online AMIL programme. And one of the benefits of that mode of study is that it really does have maximum flexibility, but you also have the benefit of being able to socialise and network with your peers globally. You can also see on the slide, we have a number of partnership institutions at universities throughout the country. Next slide, please. So hopefully your time with us doesn't end once you've completed your studies. As a graduate, you're eligible to become a member of our alumni network, joining our community of over 71,000 students from 103 different countries. Through this, we're connected with 11,800 businesses and organisations, which means as one of our alumni, you can be too. Just some of our kind of more prolific, I suppose, alumni on the slide. I can see here Sadiq Khan, the current Mayor of London, Aaron Cutliff, who did the LPC with us, who's now a specialist prosecutor for the CPS. Next slide, please. Thank you. So while the AMIL programmes are not vocational, it's important to note that for those of you who may be interested in the solicitor route, we do work with 90 of the top 100 law firms throughout England and Wales, and we also have great connections with a number of chambers. As a result of that, we can offer fantastic pro bono opportunities at many firms and companies, and we have lots of industry talks throughout the course and at least one law fair a year. Next slide, please. So just a brief overview of what we're going to look at today then. So we're going to be thinking about why you should study an academic master's, the career opportunities available to you, the skills you'd develop, including research skills, careers and practical advice, and then the programs available at ULaw. Next slide, please. So what is an academic master's? Next one, please, Letitia. As you'll be able to see here shortly, a master's degree is usually focused on a specific area of law, allowing you to delve deeper into an area which may interest you. As you'll see in a moment, we have a wide variety of named programs as part of our academic Masters in Law portfolio, and that's always expanding. If you weren't sure whether or not you wanted to specialise, we also have both a general and an international LLM. Next slide, please. Importantly, studying an LLM is also a really good means of transitioning to law from another discipline. Many of our applicants opt to complete their LLM now in order to make their application stand out in the increasingly competitive legal market. I personally teach kind of the medical law related modules, and many of the students in those workshops have a healthcare background, which adds a really interesting element to our discussions. However, it's important to note that our programme is not any of these things that will hopefully appear on the slide in a second. There we go. Thanks, Letitia. A pathway to professional practice. It also doesn't replace the current need for a qualifying law degree under the old route to qualifying. And it doesn't replace the need to comply with professional body requirements. So for instance, the Solicitors Regulation Authority, the Bar Standards Board. Next slide, please. Thank you. Our portfolio, as I said, is extensive and it's ever expanding. Here are some that we offer. So an LLM really is designed to enhance your academic legal knowledge, allowing you to focus on a specific area of interest. We have a really large suite of topics and modules available. You can see a few here. So company law, international arbitration, international human rights. Now, what I did want to quickly do is just to draw your attention to two of the programs which come with additional benefits. The top row, the third one in, the LLM Corporate Governance Grad CG. Now that is an innovative, flexible program designed for both law and non-law graduates who'd like to advance their career by gaining essential in-depth knowledge of corporate governance in practice. The difference though between the Corporate Governance Grad CG and corporate governance just to the left of it is that you do then get some accreditation, which is always great, isn't it? It's accredited by the Chartered Governance Institute for UK and Ireland, CGI, formerly known as the Institute for Chartered Secretaries and Administrators, or ICSA. The programme is mapped to their programme syllabus, which means upon successful completion, in addition to your LLM, you'll also get Grad CG membership. And once you've gained enough relevant work experience, you'd be able to become a full chartered member of their institute. Similarly, with the LLM International Arbitration, in addition to your LLM, you would be eligible for membership of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, which would open up lots of routes to becoming an international arbitration practitioner. With the general programs here, so you can see the general and the international ones, you can enjoy maximum flexibility in your choice of modules and your dissertation topic. It's been purposefully designed to be innovative and adaptive, and allows non-law graduates as well as law graduates to kind of explore different areas before specialising. Next slide, please. Thank you very much. We also have a fantastic selection of legal technology courses, including an MSc, a postgraduate diploma, and a postgraduate certificate. Now, the MSc in legal technology is designed again for both law and non-law graduates who want to develop an in-depth knowledge of legal technology and how the legal landscape is being changed by that technology. So it examines how innovative technologies are changing the way that the legal sector operates. The postgraduate diploma and the postgraduate certificate, they're vocational courses designed to further your skills in the really diverse and fast-moving area of technologies affecting the legal sector. The award-linked module for both of those is Artificial Intelligence and Blockchain in Law, And that really looks at how disruptive technologies are bringing about that fundamental shift in decision making and shaping a new normal in legal practice operations. It has a look, as the name suggests, at both artificial intelligence and blockchain, and it does allow you to get hands-on with the technology, exploring how it works, as well as the legal and regulatory issues that it presents to us. So hopefully our suite of programs does give something for everyone who's wanting to extend their legal knowledge, as well as giving you that flexibility in managing your studies. Next slide, please. So why study an academic master's program? One of the main advantages of our AML programs is that you can enjoy the benefits of flexible learning. You can study on either a full-time or a part-time basis. So for full-time, it's approximately 40 hours a week, part-time reducing that by half. A full-time student studies over 3 terms, completing their taught modules in the first 2 terms, and then a dissertation in the final term. Part-time students, that's doubled, so you study over 6 terms, but only studying 1 module a term and 2 terms to complete your dissertation. We have both September and January starts to the programme, and all of the materials are available to you online. You'll also be allocated a student journey advisor and a personal tutor to support you pastorally as you progress through the programme. Now, students on the programmes, they study 4 30-credit modules. Each module is taught by way of a 2-hour workshop where you'll meet with your peers and also a tutor. If you're unable to attend live, the workshops are recorded to give you flexibility to study at your convenience. All of our LLM and MSc students are required to complete a dissertation. Your dissertation topic must be within your specialism, but otherwise it's up to you. So if you're studying a named LLM, for instance, your dissertation must be within your award-linked module. So medical law from the LLM in medical law. The dissertation makes up 1/3 of the total assessment of the programme, and you will work on this alongside support from an allocated supervisor. In terms of the other assessments, there's a mixture of coursework and time-restricted assessments depending on the module. However, all of them take place online, so there's no requirement for you to be going into a centre to sit those. As we can see here, there's 2 main benefits really. Firstly, you are able to study a specific area of law in more depth to make sure you have that specialist legal knowledge. As I said, I personally teach on the medical law type modules, and we see a lot of practicing medics as well as lawyers studying that course, which does bring a real depth, particularly with the practical anecdotes that they're able to bring to the session. An LLM can also improve your career opportunities, which is something we'll look at now with Letitia.
Thank you so much, Vicky, for this presentation, and I apologize in advance in case I cough. I'm just recovering from nasty bug, but very nice to meet you all. My name is Letitia Bittencourt, and I work as a careers consultant at the University of Law. As Vicky said, I have applied for ULaw myself as well because of the reputation of the university and all the benefits it offers to its students. So now we are going to talk about some careers opportunities within an Amu course, which stands for Academic Masters in Law. So here I put some degrees that Vicky has mentioned about and what type of careers our students look for. So for instance, if you undertake an LLM International Business Law, you might consider becoming a paralegal. But on the other hand, if you are interested in technology or legal tech, you might consider becoming a regulatory advisor. So the opportunities here are really extensive because, as Vicky well said, all the specialisms gives you very wide range of opportunities that you would like to apply for, that soon you're going to see that we call them alternative careers to legal practice. So in the human rights field, you might consider becoming an advocacy officer or fundraiser or a researcher. I mean, the possibilities are many. And in the alternative dispute resolution, you might want to become a mediator or arbitrator. So here we have a range of alternative careers, and these are just an insight of what our students look for. So after they completed their degree with us, they might go to the academia to do some teaching, work as a tutors or lecturers. They might consider going into the politics or international relations, human resources, charity sector, all of those that appear here for you on your screen. And it's really valuable because our ULaw competency framework are going to explore different types of skills and abilities, such as we are going to help you to develop your subject knowledge in the area that you have chosen. And we are going to also assist you in your critical evaluation, the practical application of your area, the self-reflection of your course, your independent learning. As Vicky said before, you are going to be awarded with the autonomy of your flexible learning, so that all these like competencies are going to really add value to you in the future. And now we are going to talk about focusing on you, like on your search and developing your skills, because what happens most of the times is that students don't know initially where to go. So it's really important that at the moment that you're watching or listening to this presentation, you try to identify what are the skills and abilities that you currently possess. And by doing that, what I suggest to you actually is to write them down, the ones that you possess and what you'd like to develop through your LLM. So let's say, for instance, that someone here would like to undertake an LLM in human rights law because they would like to research about, let's say, modern slavery. So looking back at your undergraduate degree, you might have a very good experience in research or analyzing data, but you haven't developed much your abilities regarding communication or public speaking. So throughout your LLM, engaging in opportunities such as multi-competitions would be a very good opportunity or activity for you to improve and develop that type of skill, which is the communication. So this is a task that I would have recommended you to do, just so you can have this overview about your own profile. The second step would be to break down the subject knowledge you would like to study about. And that means that you should develop some awareness of the main current affairs in the area. So as I was using the example of the human rights field, I just broke this field down into modern slavery. But human rights is a very big, complex field, so you would be able to study women's rights or children's rights or any type of right that are entitled to protection and unfortunately might suffer any type of violation. So developing your subject knowledge in the area is something that ULaw really provides to its students. So this is something really important to the marketplace nowadays, because when you undertake an LLM degree, an academic master's degree, you are going to become an expert in that particular field. So that's why at the employability department, we are really interested in knowing you. So something that we do is profile assessment, in which we try to understand what are your areas of interest. And by doing that, we are able to research about the potential labor markets that interest you, and to discuss about this market with your supervisors and with other careers consultants as well. And when you gather all of that information, you can speak with a member of the employability team, and together we are going to be able to conduct a critical conversation, very provocative in a way, to make you think what are the best choices for you, and therefore engage in an application process. So I thought would be really important as well to bring here what are the main skills that you would gain through a Master's of Law degree, which are critical thinking, your presentation skills, research methodology, organization, motivation, confidence, time management, and problem solving. So throughout your time with us, studying your degree, you're very likely going to develop and improve all of these skills that shows on your screen, just because it's going to be a really intensive, a really in-depth learning process that are going to prepare you to the reality of employment out there. Now we are moving to targeted careers advice, and by that I would like to explain to you what the employability service offers at ULaw. So with us, you would be awarded the opportunity to have one-to-one study and careers appointments, because we offer careers information, guidance, and also advice. So that means, for instance, that if you are slightly lost about what path you should follow, you could come to us and we would conduct a profile assessment. As I said, we would talk about the careers you are mostly interested in, and then that's why individual appointments are for, to really explore your individuality. Another point that we offer is the reviews of your CV, cover letter, and application forms. And on a monthly basis, and sometimes weekly as well, we provide you newsletter with information and resources on your particular area, which is really important and insightful. And you can contact us through the employability portal, where you're going to find all the appointments available, the events that we conduct pretty much on a weekly basis at ULaw, job vacancies that we share with you. So it's a very vibrant environment to ensure that you have all the information to make the most of your time with us, and to guarantee almost that you have a very positive experience after your studies. We also have live streams, workshops, and employer presentations, and this is something that we do very well. We maintain a very close relationship with the main employers throughout the country, in the different areas here in the UK. And we also offer you careers fairs, so you can have that exposure to the profession and also to professionals that work in the places that you might consider joining. This in your screen is the employee agility chart. In pretty much we broke it down just to show you what are going to be the steps of your learning. So when you start your study with us, you are going to as you can see on the very bottom part of the page, in a self-aware and committed to your own development. And throughout the learning process, you're going to be able to really use and make the most of these abilities of like your hard working, your flexibility, your adaptability. You're going to be able to negotiate and influence effectively throughout your studies. Not to forget, like you're going to be able to manage the project, deliver results, and until you come to the very top, making yourself more employable in the eyes of the recruiters. So this is a very interesting diagram that we follow, and that adds a very good value to your experience as well. So now I would like to talk to you about some practical advice, because during your time at ULaw, we highly recommend you to attend employers hosted events. And the reason for that is because on one hand, you're going to be able to meet key people and make a positive impression and broaden your network. And for those who doesn't know how to network, how to approach employers, don't you worry. All you need to do is to book an appointment with us, and we can discuss more what you want, and then we would guide you how to make a very positive introduction about yourself. And on the other hand, by attending these events, you're going to be able to get an insider's view of the work that the employer conducts and what are the chances like to understand how to apply your specialist knowledge in their workplace. So that's really beneficial to you, and I hope that you follow this advice wherever you study in the country. So just to give you an overview here, you can use your LLM to enhance your application. So to demonstrate how the degree has widened your legal knowledge and set of skills, how your specialist knowledge is going to benefit your work, and also to showcase current awareness of the specialized field and its link to the labor market. So as I was using just as an example, the human rights field, and you are really interested into modern slavery or human trafficking, and you might consider applying for a position as a researcher at Amnesty International, which is a very globally renowned NGO, you could totally take advantage of your degree to showcase the knowledge in the area, the set of skills, and how you are an up-to-date professional as well. So here are some testimonials of different careers. So here you can read, the skills gained from studying law can be applied to other careers. Many people say they study law because of an innate sense of justice and public service, values that can go hand in hand with the careers in politics. So this is someone that chose a career in politics. And in the following slides, you can see also what law firms say. So at LLMs, we actively seek to recruit students with an exceptional academics, a commitment to law, strong communication skills, and an international perspective, which is why we welcome applications from LLM students. Our preference is for LLM students to join an LLM office in the jurisdiction where they are qualified or qualifying into. So this is just to give you this sense of how broad your opportunities might be. So the key points to remember here is that a master's in law program can enhance your employability regardless of the sector. Your skills will acquire as a part of your LLM are required across a variety of roles. There are some specialized LLM programs for specialized roles, like Vicky told you about the corporate governance degree. And a master's in law program is not just for lawyers. So I hope that with this presentation, you could have a more in-depth insight. And let's answer some questions in case you have any.
Excellent. Thank you, Letitia, and thank you for your part as well, Vicky. It was very insightful, so thank you. At this stage, we'd like to say a huge welcome to our podcast listeners. Today, we have been joined by the University of Law, Letitia and Vicky, who have been talking all things University of Law, specifically law courses and LLMs. Like I said, thanks for that both. I suppose I better start with the most popular question that has come through in terms of modes of study. Obviously, because of COVID, there's been so much up in the air in terms of, can I, as an international student, come to the UK? Can I study my course that I want to study? And can I enhance my career? Talk to me about the different modes of courses there are. Can you do blended learning? Is it all online? And what opportunities are there? How much, do they cost more, and so on from there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a variety of different campuses, but we also have an online campus, which is our largest campus now. Obviously, if you're coming to the UK, you have to meet various visa requirements, which are kind of outside of my knowledge, but one of my colleagues will be able to help you with. If there were problems with that, we do have students who then move to the online mode of study. And I think the thing to say with the pandemic situation is all of our exams remain online, and that's going to be a long-term thing now. So there is no need to go to a centre if you're an online student. And equally, even if you do choose to study at one of our centres, you'll still be sitting your exams at home, wherever you want to be sitting them, a place that's convenient to you. Yeah, there's really just maximum flexibility. If there are times when you're unable to attend a class, if it were, for instance, for illness, the workshops are recorded, so you can catch up at your convenience. Tutors are very much available to you. So if you had any questions when you're watching those recordings, you can send them to those tutors and they'd be more than happy to help. But yeah, lots of different study options.
Of course, and that's the way of the world now. You know, you're not alone. Everybody will be doing that. So I'd imagine you're ahead of the curve as well, being who you guys are, having an online campus, which is great. Now, Vicky, I think you mentioned in your second or third slide earlier about the different campuses you guys have got and the locations that you're based in. From a student perspective, can they choose where they want to study and then go on to look at the course they want to study, or is the course associated with a certain campus? Can, you know, from a student perspective, that can be quite important, I think.
Yeah, so courses with the Academic Masters programme are associated with certain campuses. We do have centres of kind of excellence. So you would need to make sure that you're applying to one of those which is running the Academic Masters in Law programme that you're particularly interested in. Online runs everything, essentially. So if you did want the flexibility, it's going to be there with the online campus. Equally, sorry to keep mentioning the online point, but if you're located in the UK and you did want to use our campus facilities, you can make arrangements to do that. So I wouldn't want you to think that just because you're online, you're very disconnected. It's definitely not like that. It's a big university community and we like everyone to feel as involved as possible. But yeah, different campuses run slightly different things. So I'd advise getting in contact with our admissions team and they'll be able to make sure that what you want to study is available.
And I suppose it's a general misconception from people, really, but I suppose it's a thing from the past that if you study an online course, does it really matter compared to a face-to-face campus course? Because I know a lot of people, you know, I've been to university myself, would say, if you've got an online degree, it's not as good as a face-to-face degree, and it shows. I think, can we put that to bed now? That doesn't matter anymore?
Yeah, absolutely. Personally, I've only been teaching online for the last 7 years. And I think what online gives you is a real unique experience. I love that my students are from different jurisdictions, can bring in their different experiences. They have life experiences, you know, they're juggling lots of different things. And I think that's fantastic. I think, you know, law is an inclusive environment and being able to offer the opportunities online does really help to foster that point. And in terms of content, it's exactly the same as our face-to-face programs. And so nothing to worry about there. Your transcript wouldn't show your study location, it would just show your program if it was something you're particularly concerned about.
Yeah, and I think that's really important as well. Letitia, can I just bring you in at this point? Because one of the questions that have come in before the session began actually is about employability and careers, which is very much what you were talking about earlier. But from a student perspective, if they were to come on board with the Uni of Law to enhance their career, what opportunities and business partnerships do you guys have that you work with that if a student came on board, they have that ambition? That, you know, I'm sure you've got Alumni, which you've mentioned to already, but what is there that you can say, yep, that's us?
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, I think this is a very interesting question because at the employability department at U Law, we are seriously committed to enhancing the student experience and to help them boost their CV. So something that we are actively engaged in is promoting opportunities and liaising with employers. So we have our pro bono department where we release a lot of opportunities for students to focus on. So it's really important as well to clarify that we do not guarantee you an experience because it also depends on the side of the employers if they want to hire you. So that's why it's really important for you to slowly to be proactive on a gradual basis and collecting a lot of experiences in your CV to make you a very attractive candidate. So yeah, we do offer a very wide range of opportunities in our pro bono department, and we also help students to go even further, to look for placements, even like summer or winter internships, for instance, that they can focus on outside the scope of the opportunities we offer. So yeah, I believe they would be very well assisted by us.
Thank you. Vicky, from a course perspective, would you say the University of Law specialise in one subject? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that won't understand now that LLMs cover such a broad area of subjects now. It's very similar to business in the law field, that doesn't matter if you're studying farming or textiles, you will find a course related to it now. So is there one course that you would say you guys are very strong in, and always really popular at the moment because of everything that's going on with the pandemic?
I wouldn't say there's necessarily one which is our focus. Our academics across the university have such broad research interests, which is what I think makes it so great, that we do have real specialists in all of these subjects that we offer. That being said, though, there are obviously courses which are more popular than others. Corporate governance is one of the really popular ones, as is legal technology. We were one of the first in the field to start offering these legal tech dedicated programs, as we do have a lot of experience in that area. And it's something which is changing and growing all the time. So it's a fantastic thing to be part of.
Okay.
May I, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Can I just add something? So I was a law student myself. I worked as a lawyer for a couple of years until I decided to become a careers consultant, specializing in the legal field. And something that I would like to, well, just not really clarify, but just like repeat, because all of us know what I'm going to say. We can see the legal field in pretty much everything, like any human relation. So if we think about the pandemic, where in which like people have changed countries and they went to work in different jurisdictions, I mean, they will need a tax lawyer at some point to either get advice or to help them to fix something they have done wrong, let's say that way. There are so many families that have either were like they grew apart during the pandemic, or a lot of couples that got married, and children just like the children dynamics with the parents. They will need someone specializing in family law, for instance. Employment, like the same thing, because with the pandemic now we have so much flexibility, and people are really enjoying the geographical freedom. So I know it's very it might seem very obvious to say, but all legal fields are really important on an equal basis, I would say, because we can see that in the dynamics of any sphere of our life. So yeah, that would be my comment.
Excellent. And just moving on back to where we were about the international students' perspective, is it a very, at your campuses, is it a very cosmopolitan way of life? Do you know, are plenty of international students applying to come to the Uni of Law, and how does it look in those key cities that they're based in? Obviously, you got the major cities such as Liverpool was mentioned, Nottingham and London, but are there other quieter areas within those campuses for international students?
Yeah, absolutely. They are hugely diverse, our student populations, and everyone is very much welcome. We also have lots of different societies based at the university too. So if you did want to do something that felt a bit more familiar to yourself, I'm sure you would find someone with similar interests. But yes, absolutely, there are lots of international students at our campuses, as well as obviously online, and very much open and welcoming to everyone. Like you say, we do have the two centres in London. London is London, isn't it? But we do also have Guildford. We do have the smaller towns and cities, if people did want a slightly different experience in coming to the UK.
Yeah, of course. And moving on from that question as well, it's still relevant, but I think it's important to get it in before we wrap up. English speaking courses presumably are the main modes of learning with you guys? Do you offer any other languages? And with the English speaking courses, what are the requirements, and what course and what tests can they take?
Sure. So there is a language requirement for joining the course. I'm not entirely sure what level we require, but it is all on the website. It's part of the IELTS test, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
So we require that level from students when they apply. We do, though, once students join us, we have an English support team who are fantastic at supporting students where English isn't their first language. Particularly academic English can be difficult, can't it? And one of the things that I always say to my students is, we're not expecting you to write like the law lords are writing. We don't want judgment. We want you to write in a clear, concise way. And we have colleagues at the university who can help everyone with that, but with a particular focus where English isn't a first language.
Thanks. So Letitia, have you got anything more to add to that? Would you like to just elaborate further?
Yes, thank you. Well, being an international employee myself, I think that's a very important topic, because whenever we are expressing ourselves in our second language, it requires a lot from us in terms of self-study, discipline, commitment. And from the employability department, I can say that we offer English for the academic and workplace workshops, which is really insightful presentation to help you to develop just like a new type of approach when you are writing to your tutors or you're trying to contact someone in the workplace. So we do care about that in order to ensure that you make a very positive impression, as I was previously saying. So yeah, in that sense, we also provide support, and I hope it really adds value to the life of students.
Vicky, Letitia, thanks for your time today. Very much appreciated. I do need to state that we have deliberately not answered questions on funding and on accommodation as well. There are guides on the University of Law website and on postgrad.com if you want a little bit more information. There have been loads of questions coming via social media, so we're not ignoring you. We will get round to your questions afterwards. But for now, Letitia and Vicky, a huge thank you. It's been an insightful session, and the Q&A was very engaging, so thank you very much. Just a bit of information now about postgrad.com before we do go. For those of you that aren't sure who we are and what we offer, so over 10 million students have used us to find their perfect PG program. Over 200 different countries for you to study at. I mean, Vicky and Letitia have just talked about then about the online modes. There are very much face-to-face campuses still, and over 200 countries for you to study at. Partnerships with high caliber international scholarship providers such as Chevening and Marshall. We partner with both of them, so if you are looking for face-to-face and looking to come to the UK scholarship, head over to that website where we are the core search engine. The best advice on all things postgraduate courses, which includes what we've just spoken about there: English language support, funding, subjects, and so much more, including a dedicated law section as well as LLM study as well. Eligibility for one of our £500 bursaries that all students are eligible for, so please head over to our website. In terms of what you need, anyone is eligible, full-time, part-time, students looking to study in September 22, January 23, or September 23, doing any mode of study, whether that be full-time, part-time, online learning, or face-to-face. So please head over to Postgrad Solutions now to sign up. There's no reason not to. It doesn't clash with anything else. But for now, a huge thank you to Letitia and Vicky. It's been really great today. Thanks for coming on and helping organise this. But for now, we'll see you soon for our next session, which is tomorrow morning with the University of Reading Henley Business School. See you then. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.